Let's talk about Roman numerals. Physicians will use Roman numerals when writing prescriptions. It's the pharmacy technician's role to know how to interpret Roman numerals and be aware of the rules. Let's take a look at this prescription. The sick code reads, take 2 tablets by mouth twice a day. How do we know that's the number 2? Let's look at Roman numerals. The number 1 is identified with a Roman numeral as the symbol that looks like the lowercase I. It can also be written as the lowercase I with a line under the dot, or what looks like the capital I. The number 2 is written as 2 symbols that look like the lowercase I, and again can be written similarly. The number 3, we have 3 symbols that look like the lowercase I, which again can be written similarly. However, when we get to the number 4, we must remember our rule for Roman numerals. We cannot use more than 3 number 1 Roman numerals in a row. So number 4 is going to be written a little bit differently, in which we're going to have to be aware of another rule. Let's look at number 5 first. Number 5 is written as a V, and it can also be written as a V that looks like this. How do we write the number 4? Well, we go to our second rule, where the number 1 for Roman numeral is different if it's placed in front of the higher number or after the higher number. In the case of a number 4, the number 1 is placed in front of the V that represents the number 5. How do we know that's the number 4? We remember our rule where if the number 1 is placed in front of the larger number, we subtract. So we have the larger number of 5 and the smaller number of 1 placed in front of the 5, so we're going to subtract. 5 minus 1 gives us 4. Let's use that same rule with the number 6. The number 6 is represented as the V for 5 and the number 1. However, the number 1 in this case is placed after the larger number of 5, so we are going to add 5 plus 1 equals 6. Again, subtract if the smaller number is in front of the larger number, add if the smaller number is after the larger number. It's always best practice to have your Roman numeral chart handy.